With the D1s, a common rust area is underneath the Alpine windows, particularly on the lower edge here. So water accumulates and it starts rusting out underneath the rubber, which makes it difficult to find out that you've got a problem until it's too late. I mean, some of the telltale signs are when you start getting the bottom of the lip of the rubber starting to rise, or the other telltale sign too is, and I'm not sure if you can see it, is when you start getting imperfections in the rubber here, which to me indicate that the rust is pushing the rubber out. So today's task is to remove the seal, remove the glass, treat the rust with a rust converter, and then what I'll be doing is I'll actually be putting some of that windscreen sealant in between the rubber, so that when I place the rubber back on, it's actually very, very well protected. So it's very watertight basically. Okay, first thing is to pry out the securing rubber. It's quite easy using a flat blade screwdriver, and we'll just slowly pry it out. We don't want to stretch it too much. Nice and slowly.
Ew. Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's got a bit of water in it.
Yeah, very nice.
Alright, so I'll just put that there. Now, using this, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to loosen up break the seal, if you will, on here. Okay, and I'm using the plastic because there's less chance of cracking the glass if you're using something like a screwdriver to try to remove the glass panel. So as I said, just slowly get that loose. Here we go. I'll just move over here a bit just to see if I can get that out of the edge. Nice. Yeah. Okay. What we'll do here is just lift that up, and you can see here how there's plenty of water. Just been trouble. We had some rain the last day or so, and this is the reason why it starts to rust. However, having said that, I'm quite happy with the minimum rust that there is there. This one's got a bit of a lip underneath. Not sure you can see that due to the sun's reflection. Okay. A little bit of rust here, which I'll treat. And this is probably the worst bit here. But having said that, it's still not too bad. But you saw how there was imperfections in the rubber sealing here, imperfection there and in the back here at the beginning of the video. So my suspicions were right. It's the bubbling from the paint as it starts to rust that it's lifting or pulling the rubber seal out. So that'll be one indication for you to start really having a look at it. What I'm going to do now is clean it up, and once I've cleaned it up, dried it, I'm going to put some rust converter on there, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've sanded back, scraped it as much as I could without going overboard. You can see these are the little areas there, so now they're fairly smooth. I used a wet and dry to kind of finish that off. So before I actually then start putting the rust converter on here, I'm just going to put a bit of tape to protect the paint in the areas where I don't actually want the rust converter to touch. Okay, here's the other side. Needed just a little bit to cover. There wasn't too much, so I'm happy with that. So that's just a standard kill rust product, and the other side's the same. Right, so next is time to clean this up, particularly where, so that's the outside, and that's the inside there. So this is where we need to make sure that it's all nice and clean. Well, like anything, preparation is key. So everything's now cleaned, even the outer strip. Now I'm just waiting for this to cure. And as I said, what I'll be doing is within the actual lip here, the one that actually places in here, I'm going to be putting some of that windshield Celastic, the stuff that doesn't harden, stays soft all the time. Alright, so I've added in a little bit of that windscreen sealant, and now we're about to locate it. So just putting the second window here, you can see where that rubber there is coming out, but obviously that's part of the cleanup process. And certainly putting the window was a little bit on the challenging side, and also then putting that strip there. But hey, you don't do it every day, do you? It's coming along quite well. Right, so this is a pretty slow process of putting that in there, and of course just using again the plastic tools and a little bit of soap spray to help with the with putting that back in there. But essentially that's about it. After this, I'll just, like I did with the other side, just clean along around the edges to take out the excess silicone, windscreen sealant, and give this all a bit of a wash, because I had to use a little bit of mineral turps to get rid of the contaminated areas like that. Give it a wash and then repolish, and then that should be it. I don't have to worry about it. So that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know, and thanks for watching.